Okay? You can almost just kind of rip it off. Alright? That's good. Okay. Now, I've taken off the lower half of the bottom, but now I want to get the top half too. So I just got to kind of cut a little bit more. And when I roast my chicken, I'm actually going to roast the breasts with the bone in. You're going to get more flavor that way. Okay. Alright, so broke that off. Okay. Okay, there's that. Now I've got 2 breasts. Ooh, I got some skin here. Let's get rid of that. Throw it in my little garbage can. Alright. Now this is where the knife would come in handy. But what, excuse me, the scissors, because you can cut right down the 2. But what I might do is just leave this completely intact. I think I'm going to do that. It's going to be easier. I've got this nice big breast here of meat. Okay? So put that aside. Let's get those legs back here. Alright, now with the legs, I'm going to cut from the outside down to the board. Okay? And again, feel for where the bone... Okay? So you can almost break it apart, but you just want to be careful. Okay, where are you, buddy? Where are you? Okay, see? Just broke it right apart. There, that's easy. Alright, now we've got this really nice thigh here. But we've got this bone in the middle, so we're going to debone that too in a second. Okay? Let's just get the other one. Alright. We don't need this excess skin. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I cut it right in the right place. Okay, so that one was very easy. Okay, there's that. Alright, got the skin. You know what? I'm actually going to remove the skin on the thighs because I'm not going to have it with the cordon bleu. I don't need it. It's just added fat I don't need. Alright, throw that out. Alright, that's beautiful. Let's get the skin off of this one. Okay. Hey, by the way, I was able to get an advanced copy of The Descendants yesterday, and that's a movie with George Clooney. Takes place in Hawaii. That's a great movie. I watched it last night. It was pretty fun. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking out this bone, but I'm being very careful not to penetrate the meat and put a big hole in it. So I'm just feeling around the bone and sticking my little boning knife in there and cutting the bone away, trying to leave the meat intact. All right. Okay. All right. There's the bone. Gonna save that for the soup, right? For the stock, anyways. Okay. Oh, look at that piece there. That's gonna be nice when it's pounded out. All right. This one here is a pretty big one. All right. I hope you're enjoying my shows, and I guess if you're watching, then you are, because I'm having a blast doing it. Although some of my friends and family still think I'm a little crazy, but they always have, so what's the difference? Right. All right. And take your time with this, you know. Because the one thing you'll do that's frustrating is you'll rush it, and then you screwed it up, and then you can't fix it. Because once you screw up with cutting or, you know, with over seasoning your meat or, you know, overcooking it, there's just no turning back. The only thing I can say about that is it's going to happen. And it's just a learning experience. But if you're sitting there in the kitchen and you're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing this or that, again, just go on Google. Google it. You find everything there. Alright. This one here, alright, it's not too bad. Okay, so I got those two on the side, right? Now, actually I'm going to take the skin off the legs as well because I'm using the legs for the soup. And I really don't need the skin for that. Okay. And yes, I did wash my hands. Perfect. Alright, so there's that. I've got the carcass here. I've got my wings. Again, I'm going to take the skin off the wings. Sometimes it's a little easier said than done. You know what? The hell with that. I'm keeping that on. After it's cooked, we can pull it off. Okay? Alright, so I've got the carcass all there. I've got my chicken ready for the roaster. Okay? Alright. So what are we going to do first? I think I'm going to get the roaster together. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over and wash my hands a little bit. I would love to get one of those sinks that are touch activated. That's great, because you just touch it, and it turns on and turns off. Okay. Now when I'm working with chicken and I'm putting spices together, I generally get all the spices together that I want to use and I put into a little bowl. That way, that's going to be my spice for all the chicken. And when I'm done, I throw it out. You don't want to cross-contaminate. And you don't want to start opening halfway through, seasoning your product. Opening up new containers and it's just a pain in the ass. So what I've done here is I just put a bunch of seasonings that I like. I've got a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of onion powder, Old Bay. I've got some poultry seasoning in here, salt and pepper, and I've mixed that all up. Smells pretty good, and you can always taste a little bit. And if it's like, ooh, wow, that's salty, don't throw it all out. Just break it into two. And my seasoning. And we're ready to go. So what I'm going to do, well, actually, okay. Alright, so I've got my seasoning, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the garlic, I'm going to chop it up, and then I'm going to mash it down into like a paste. And that will be easier to kind of put it throughout the chicken, underneath the skin, and work with it, okay? So what I'd like to do is, if you remember, I was talking about the Pampered Chef chopper. Awesome, okay? I've already cut up my onions. Well, cut them in half. I'm actually going to chop these up a little bit as well. I'm going to use onion for the soup mixture and also for my roast, okay? All right, so let's take half of this onion here. Done. Done. Put that aside. Okay. Now the trick with garlic and mashing it down, what we're going to do is, I wish I had some coarse salt. I don't, but what I do have is I have a little bit of pepper. So I will use some pepper in there. It's coarsely ground pepper. And what that will do, and usually use salt, is that will help you grind the garlic to a paste. Okay? So I'm putting it flat down on the board, and I'm just mashing it. Back and forth. Okay. Put it into another pile. You know, it's already chopped up, so I'm mashing it. You know, if you got a garlic press, you can use a garlic press. Whatever. Whatever's easier. Whatever you got. Okay. Mashing this up nicely here. Okay. Fantastic. You just smell that garlic. And this is another way to kind of, you know, if you like garlic, but you don't want that real potent garlic taste in there, and you got big chunks of garlic, if you do this and mash it down and put, you know, some garlic paste in there, it's going to kind of knock down the flavor as well. Alright. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some of that seasoning mixture in there as well. Okay, mix that all in there. Cool. Alright, now I've got my chicken breast here. Skin's still intact. So in a couple different areas, I'm going to run my finger right up inside there and create like a couple little pockets in there. And that's where I'm going to stick the garlic mixture with the seasoning. I'm sure you've seen this done a million times. Doesn't take much, but it's rewarding. Okay, so I'm going to throw that right in a pocket there. I'm going to push it down, cover the entire breast and up. Okay, grab the other pile. Now the outside, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Underneath, always do underneath. Especially when you got a full chicken, you're doing a roast. You want to make sure you season inside the chicken as well. Okay, all right.